Record breaker. Thank you very much. I'm not thanking you for actually running too forward. I worked a lot preparing the slides. My name is here, the title is here, and everything is here. And then it is over. There's no more slide. There are no more slides. But I think it is a very good point, and I think that we all make mistakes. Like you just see here, the wall of the sheep, which is still working. I might also be a sheep. Like, you know, I'm talking about human mistakes, and then I might be on that wall. Now, there are a lot of mistakes. I'm here, and then there's Windows here, and there are a lot of SSIDs. But this could have been prevented, but it's not my mistake. And then at the previous presentation, it was visible that you can see my name card, which actually is make me a subject to a social engineering attack. Actually, my name is there, but you know, in a foreign environment, when you have, when I have my name and when I have my title, which makes me prone to be attacked by social engineering, yes, we just, you know, drink, and then security information is leaked. Anyway, I was trying to collect pieces of information on mistakes that are because of ourselves, which could have been prevented. And now it might come up, the whole concept, that I go over the weak points, and then experience shows that the weak points are always abused. There is nothing new under the sun. This is my title of my presentation. The tools I'm going to use are not from this millennia, like for example, Trap. Now, if I download Trap, then all of the virus programs will say that this is not a good code. Do I really want to download it, and so forth? The reason I'm showing this is because there is nothing preventing anyone to prepare something similar, which does the same, however, would not be detected by the antivirus programs, because we know that there are profit-oriented experts trying to come up with codes, which codes just trick the antivirus programs. They have all the opportunities because they just tailor the code as long as it goes through the antivirus programs. We can see the source code, and the guy wrote, well, it's very good that a lot of people use my program, although I haven't touched it for 3 years. This is actually from 1999. Now, Netcat is also a veteran. What I can see on this page here is that digital signature is from November 2004. I mean, this is when it's going to expire, meaning that it expired already 6 years ago. Therefore, antivirus programs would say that this is very dangerous. And the source code is there. And then I'm going to show you another thing. Actually, all of these things could be programmed. So these are my hacking tools. Let's raise our hands. I swear that I know Net2. Who's the guy who says this? Yeah. 60%, I would say. Okay, further participants. I have 3 machines. The black is obviously a hacker machine. This is, I think, straightforward. This is how it has to be. I have another one. This is Aunt Mary's computer. This is a domain machine, and I also have a domain controller, where I have the active directories, users, and computers. This is where I can see Mori Neni, that is Auntie Mary. Auntie Mary has no Auntie Mary as far as the user rights are concerned, she's nowhere. She's only in the domain users, but I can throw her out if I want to throw her out from here. So these are the participants, and let's start the story then. I'm a mouse magician, so I don't have to type. Okay, the first tool I'm starting to use is going to be Netcat. For the 40% who didn't raise their hands, or they don't know the web tool, this is a pipe machine, a piping machine, which what it does is that from TCP channel sends everything into or out from the TCP channel, and with another client, if you link to that TCP channel, you can enter data. So first of all, the main reason is to use it for chatting, like for example, listen on port 80. This is going to be a web-based chat program. I'm going to launch another command prompt. A lot of letters here, but anyway, no, I mistyped something. Yeah, here. Okay, so what are the TCP channels that are open on my machine? Which ports are you listening at? Yes, it is, and it was not me who did it. Now, you can see that there is no web server here, but if I hit an enter, and then he's starting to listen on port 80, there's a special web server which has only one disadvantage. It does not understand HTTP protocol, but anyway, it's well off. This is going to be a good point of my attack, because obviously you could say that this would not go through the proxy filters. Yes, not in this form, but what would it take, how much would it take to translate it into HTTP language, and then it would just slip through everything. Now, I'm going to now show you this TCP channel. Good. And again, here I launch a Netcat. And then with this, I would just hook on the other one, which in this case is localhost 80, port 80. And then I'm done with the... Okay, so we can see that I'm ready. And the whole instant messaging service is replaced by a Netcat, which is like 60 kilobytes. Now, obviously, this is not the use that anyone is going to have dreamless nights, but you can direct your commands to anything, which in this case is going to be command prompt. My objective is to gain control over Auntie Mary's machine. Now, how will this program be installed on Auntie Mary's machine? Elite Web, that I showed you, is able to make a package of anything. Everyone wants to send a smart program to Auntie Mary, but then I decided you don't need to send any smart program to Auntie Mary, because she doesn't know what it is. And even if I find a very smart program, then that would be a setup program. So I'm just going to send her a JPEG. The advantage of which is that it is going to be appear through Paint, and she will think that there is a new program launched, because there are certain users who don't know what an op system and what an application is. Now, I'm just stopping this chat here. I go back. So when Auntie Mary joins in, she can join in, and now I'm going to prepare a package, a gift package to Auntie Mary. Well, this runs very well on Windows 2008. It's not very stable, but anyway, that's not a problem. And let me show you what I prepared in this directory. I have everything that I need. I have this picture of a dog. This is the alley trap. I'm sending her a netcap with the right parameters and also a PV dump, FG dump. What it does is that not only the passwords but the cache list, everything is going to be listed at the same time. So let's see this. What is going to be the file name? Drawing.exe. Royce in Hungarian. CRC check, RK. Let's just put a netcat in, which is line 3 in this line. It is going to be asynchronous, it is going to be hidden, and the command line is going to be that it has to link back to me on the hacker machine. Obviously, this is not a great network now, so everything is here in local, but can we, I think we should believe that this would just pass through the routers. And then here's the trick. Whatever she gets on this channel should be sent to cmd.exe. And let's stop here for a while, because space didn't work again. So, what are we talking about? What I'd like to... I have a false web server on this black machine, and if someone joins in to hooks in on to this false web server through the wire firewalls, then everything is turned around, and I'm going to remote control the machines. So anything that seems to be an outward and outbound HTTP traffic to others, it is going to be an inbound remote control. Now, FG dump is here, and this is going to serve very well in the future. There are a lot of bugs, so FG dump I have to run with number 3. Okay. And then I need to put in the dog, but the picture about the dog. So he really to have a present, which is just going to be packaged in. How am I going to make it appear? I'm going to send an MS Paint, which is C/, obviously this is the Windows of her Windows. MS Paint.exe. MS Paint, who uses that? Okay, again, 60% uses MS Paint. And then the input is going to be the picture. Yeah, good. Nothing else. I didn't tell him what to do with it. Wrap. There's no number 6. I screwed up something. No problem. I did it in advance. I think you can see what I was wrapping together. And then here, there is the Royce.exe. How am I going to convince Auntie Mary to run this? And then I said, maybe I should make her find a pen drive, because smart people do not buy pen drive. They either find it or they win it, you know. And then with auto run, anything was launched from this pen drive. So I have to convince her to run it. But actually there's Facebook, so if I just analyze what Auntie Mary does, then I can draw her attention to the fact there is a very good program here. And then I thought maybe a cocktail recipe program is what I would give her, because we can see from her machine that she likes cocktails. But then I really realized that that would require an installer, and then she would call the system administrator. So she would rather get a program from her friends through Facebook, and then if she runs this program, this is going to be very interesting. Here's our prog. I could copy here, but I know that I did something wrong. Therefore, I'm going to use the conserve, the tin version, which is here, the dub. And when she launches this program, let's see what happens between the two machines. There are 5,000 routers, 80 firewalls between the two machines. What happens? First of all, she will see a dog. This is the ugliest dog I've ever seen, but anyway, it's here. But something happened in the background. You could see that the fake web server got a connection. And then, if we see where we are, this is why I have two command prompts. Home is called hack attacker, but where this was sent to, hostname, is Anti-Mary's machine. So I'm there, and I can remote control her machine. Before I close this window, or before I narrow this window, I'm just telling you that in this library you have the dog, and you have the FG dump, and you have the netcat, which I'm going to work with. And also, I'm going to save this link. I wasn't able to save this in advance because obviously it is launching new directories all the time. So go away, you too. And let's see what we can do with it. Now, anyone who thinks that this link is therefore quite unstable. No, it is not unstable. This could be maintained up until eternity, so for good. Now, let's see what remote control can do. Let's say, can we give her anything interactive? Or am I just in the background? Because if I give her anything interactive, it's much better than if I can't, because then I can use her. Therefore, I'm going to give her a calculator. It seems that it didn't happen. It did happen. She got the calculator. She's very happy. Oh, I was just about to calculate something. 1 + 1, 2, and then she quits. And then let's give her this so that she could manage the services. Here you are. And she gets this. She's not surprised at all. And she says, oh, this is what I was looking for. Let's see what services there are on my machine. So you can actually pull her legs, and she is not going to be suspicious, because this is how it works. Again, a couple of calculators. She's very happy with the calculators. She's not going to tell the system administrator. She has for home calculators, she has 4 calculators. She uses one to add 1 + 2, and so forth. There is no problem with that. And then, let's try to go further, what we can do with this, because we can see that we have an access to her user interface. Let's see what sort of rights we have. Who am I? I am Anti-Mary. Who am I /all is going to tell you. Let's say more. Okay. Okay, here we can see that she's really a workstation and she's just a user. What can I do with this? Because I promised that at the end I would be a domain admin and also going to be a system with domain controller. Very, very far from that. Now, what if Anti-Mary will try to hook up the domain controller, the cellular split? And then there will be an authentication. I am Mrs. Mary, or Anti-Mary. Give me the most important shares. And the domain controller is going to say, no. And then the login window would come saying that this didn't happen. But if you know the good password and and authentication, then you can do it. So let's try to do this. I launch. What is the domain controller? I don't know. I have to make investigation. I just have a command line, so I need to use this Outlook to find it out. No problem. This is a user domain, hack me. And it's called HackDC, so this is what one of the admin shares I should join to. So start $C. Okay, let's give it to her. Very good. Automatic authentication. Auntie Mary got this. She loved the calculators, therefore she loves this as well. And she says, Auntie Mary, and the password. And they say, oh, no, 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 no. Okay, other password, no, no, no. Okay, she will close it. It didn't work. But then I will give her another one because she was lazy. And this is what happens. How many times is she going to do this before she tells the system administrator that this is already disturbing her in her work? Because she's not looking there, she's just entering into the machine and she's typing blindly, and then this thing comes up all the time, and this is really disturbing. Then she tells the system administrator. Again, this is quite a weak part of the story. This only came from my head, but you can try this on other threads. I actually tested 8 before one really worked. So to what extent do you think it is? Oh yeah, the system administrator would come here and say, oh yeah, you have to join the domain controller. You have to link to the domain controller. Oh, what is the password? Hungarian. I will find this. Password is, by the way, the password, so yeah. And then Auntie Mary can work very well, and if you see what we have here, we have an excellent link to the domain controller, and as far as the user right is concerned, this is sysadministrator. So what is the strange thing here? On Auntie Mary's machine, I'm no one, but through her machine, I can reach the domain controller, but I'm still stuck on Auntie Mary's machine, computer. So I should migrate from here to the domain controller. Therefore, I prepared this. So the first thing would be that reged. The reged. This is something that you can use to write into the remote machine. This is where it is. I will call it calculator, and therefore calc.exe is going to be the executable file. Let's give it to her and then enter. What? Uh-oh. That sucks. Let's try to find another command which runs better. We have the registry commands, but there are a lot of other commands, like shutdown. Okay, let's try this one. Paste, don't paste that one, paste this one. A stronger Control-C. And now, a lot of Control-Cs. And now it works. There's no access denied. And now it seems that it ran. Now tell us when we did it, when this was done by Worm. Is it good? Okay. What the hell could be the difference between the two? I cannot try write in the registry, but I can shut it down. Now the difference, as I realized, is that the reg command itself cannot be run by Auntie Mary locally, whether or not the remote machine has the right. So if I delete from here the reference to the remote computer, only that, and try to run it this way, then we will get the same nice message. So the problem is not with the reg command and not with the and there is no problem with the shutdown. So I should have some command which would run on the remote computer with the right of a system administrator and would not prevent running on a local machine. I found such a command, which is @ not an AT command. This is like like when something should run. I, for example, would like to make another user on that domain controller, and then if we see what sort of tools there are two opportunities. First, net user. This is the Windows entity type of thing, and I have the Active Directory specific DSWeb and other things, which now, since I tried this net use, I'm going to try to do to take this further. I will make a user here. 4:42 is the time over there, so let me say it's 16:43. And then there, I'm just going to create a user. Now this is not working. Okay. What would have happened?
Várnom kellett volna 24 órát, ráérek, végülis nem probléma.
I should have waited like 24 hours, but I have the time. And here we can check whether it's really appearing here at, yes, it is there. At 4:44, this command is going to run. What will happen then? A new user will be created who will have no access right, but obviously with the same trick. I could give him any access because I gave him a name. The name is nobody. Well, this is quite, I think, surprising. Like, you know, you find someone there who's called nobody and could not be deleted. But I'm not going to bother because of that. I will just make another step of migration. The reason I wanted to save this directory is because everything has been extracted there. Therefore, I'm copying everything there to the root, obviously. I will need the netcat for the migration. So I will paste this one per nc.exe. That goes to Auntie Mary. So netcat is there as a main controller. And the FG dump, which I will use to steal passwords, that also is there. And then let's see what's on the other side. Oh, that run very properly. Let's make a refresh. Oh, it's there. Nobody as a user is there. And let's see what is here in C root. This happens quite rarely, that you can really check what had happened. And then, I'm there, yes. What do I need? I need to migrate to this. I need to migrate here. On port 80, there is a web server. So I'm going to launch another web server on the SSL port, which is a highly secure whatever it is. So it's a... And the nice thing here is that at port 80 we could say that a YADI proxy and everything is going to catch that. But 443 is that still there are firewalls which are not going to look at that because they say, oh, that's secure, therefore we are not going to look into that. Although this is not going to be secure, not even as far as the structure is concerned. It is absolutely illegal, and a lot of firewalls still accept that. So that started to listen, and I have nothing to do just to migrate over the domain controller in such a way is that I'm going to copy the netget exe with add on the same machine. Let's say 447, let's say 1646. Good. And if I'm quick enough, then in the other window where I'm already remote controlling Auntie Mary, so here, good, let it go. I had it this. Let me just check whether it's going to run today or tomorrow. Oh, this is going to run today. And then I just have to wait. Okay, 447 is already here. And let's see what happens with the other web server, the 443 port. Now something is here. Microsoft Windows version 6.h 6.0 hostname. Where am I? I'm in Hacktivity. Now that's a problem. Not for me. Who am I? Who knows who am I? Who am I? I'm the administrator. No. I'm the system. Well, that's quite good, I guess. That's quite good, isn't it? I don't think you can wish anything more than that. Now, if after this I'll be able to steal the whole directory database, I think this is not a question. But if it's not a question, let's try to do it. Croot, because I'm already there. I have the FG dump, which is a bit unstable on Windows 2008. But if I force it, I will run sooner or later. So let's give it a try. What this does is that making use of my system right will not only dump the passwords, but will. Please don't listen now. I'm going to shoot this down. I'll have to do this because I don't want to make the whole thing again. Okay. And then for the second time, hopefully it will run. Yes. Now it works. And what it did, 127.001, these are in the PV dump. You have all the usernames and password hash, and also the cached passwords and so forth. This makes sense if there is a workstation. So let's see what this file looks like. The only problem with this remote management is that tab is not working, but we can copy anyway, so. Okay. Now, a lot of no passwords. This is quite frightening. Why is this? Do you have t-shirts to give away? We will find out something. So, why doesn't anyone has a password here? Yes, there are two columns, and the second column, because this is Windows 2008, and these are the hashes, and these are there. After the presentation, please come here and we'll find out something to give you something. Yeah. Now, I only need to take this home. How could I take this home?
Ugye, itthon vagyok Hacker Henrynél, tehát akár már azt is...
It's on my screen, so I could also say thank you very much for the passwords, but then let's take it home professionally. How could we take it home professionally? I open another server. What are the ports we have not yet captured? SMTP. Okay, I have an SMTP server. It does not understand the SMTP commands, but who cares? But since I want to steal a file, therefore, Netcat has a known bug, therefore this W has to be written here, and then anything that comes, put it into akarmi.txt. And then I will just link the SMTP server. Sorry for that, but I cannot type and speak at the same time. So it was 25, and I want to put this nice thing here. Let it go. Something's happening. It exited, probably the other exited as well, yes. And in local, on the spot, I have this txt, Akarmi txt. And tab also works here. So you should all think it through whether this can be carried out today. Were there any problems that users never commit? Or if I put it on the Facebook, is it going to be one person or several hundred people who are going to run it? So you have to prepare for load balance as well. So if I crack all these passwords, then I could be anyone. There is VPN, and I could be any of the users. But I don't know why I took these passwords. Why do I need the password when I'm here as a system? There's one thing I left out. This is that I should ensure my own return to the registry. And netcat, let's put it into brackets, because that would be caught by any of the antivirus programs. But in order to make this run all the time, the trick is that I can make the scheduling, and anyone. I'm here in the domain, so reg would work here. I just tried it. So with that, that concludes my presentation, and let me just give the floor, once this is copied here. So let me give the floor to questions and answers. I don't know if this double Control-C is needed, but apparently yes. Okay, so probably it's gone. And now if we look there, we can find the whole thing there. I'm a juggler, so I can open the registry editor in such a way that it opens wherever I want it. Not because I've opened it 600 times, but this is like an external force. So this is to be thought over. Can this happen? Could this happen? Can we do anything against it? I'm sure we could. And the last question, raise your hands. I said there's nothing new under the sun. Please raise your hand. Anyone who learned something from this presentation. But it wasn't of technical nature. I hope it wasn't. Because these are primary school. Like netcat is taught in third grade of the primary school. So thank you very much for your attention, and should there be any questions, I'm ready to answer those questions. Yeah, there's a question there. Okay, so what can we do if once this happened? It should not happen. It should not happen. The problem is that you could look at any logs and anywhere, but you can see you can make it such a way that all of the traffics would be valid. You can say that domain controller, there's no HTTPS. Of course you can, because we install things from now and then. So I think it's rather prevention that we have to talk about, because I was thinking how we can filter this out. Here's a net tag. Active connection. There is a demo effect, but there would be a 443. You would see a 443, and then you see network traffic. This one would be caught because it's not SSL in terms of the traffic. However, if I had the time, it would be SSL. So it's rather prevention. Other questions? So thank you very much for your